G'day there guys, Marky here, and welcome back to another episode of r/relationship advice. Now if you love today's content, I want you to sit back, relax, chuck a prawn on the barbie, and get ready for it. Let's go. My husband and I are in disagreement, in desperate need for different opinions. Good afternoon. For context, I am 34, my husband is 37. He has a brother Brad who is 25, and Brad dated Kelsey, 24, for 10 years. They began dating when they were freshmen in high school. Their first date was actually my wedding. They were engaged for 2 years before Kelsey found out that Brad had cheated on her multiple times the year before and was still in contact and sending lewd texts to the woman that he cheated on her with. This all came out about 4 weeks ago. The entire family was devastated and furious with Brad, who told Kelsey she could have the apartment and moved in with a friend over an hour and a half away. I think he just wanted to be far away from everything. It was weird because Kelsey was a part of the family for so long, it was hard to just turn that off, and obviously we didn't. She's going through a really traumatic time and needs support. Even so, I think it does reach a point where the family has to separate from her, since the only connecting thing, Kelsey and Brad's relationship, is now gone. My husband, however, seems to think that since he's regarded Kelsey as a little sister for so long, she should be treated as such. I come home multiple times a week to her over at the house. When I ask my husband about it, he says he'll text her and ask how she's feeling, and if she says she's feeling down, he'll invite her over to cheer her up. A few nights ago, she was over, and while I was putting the kids to bed, my husband offered her a drink, and they began drinking downstairs at the bar in our den. I had a medical procedure the next morning, nothing that was a big deal, but something I was supposed to be up and out early for. I didn't need my husband to come with me or anything, but I had mentioned that I would have liked if he would. He ended up offering the guest room to Kelsey, who was up and out early, and then slept in until an hour and a half after I had come home. He has TikTok and just follows her, and a few other big accounts, but she's the only one that he follows personally. The one thing I thought that he did that I thought way overstepped, and what prompted me to have a conversation with him, is that the family is going on a 2-week vacation to Belize. The house is owned by my in-laws, so we go there often, and Kelsey has come many times. My husband invited her to come to this trip as well, which I think is odd since she's no longer dating Brad, who isn't coming on the vacation. When I had the conversation with my husband about how I thought that he was crossing some boundaries with Kelsey, he got very defensive and said that I was being heartless for wanting to just write Kelsey off. I tried to explain to him that I wasn't trying to write her off, but since she no longer had ties to the family, why would she come? If she began dating someone tomorrow, would we let her bring her new partner? My husband and I have two very opposing standpoints here, and I'm trying to come up with a way to compromise. And edit, in no way do I mean cut her off. I think our family should show her that we support and are here for her. However, I think there are boundaries, like drinking together at night, causing him to miss my procedure, inviting her to vacation, being crossed. Also, to everyone who seems to have an issue with me thinking she will need to be distanced from the family, how do you think my brother-in-law and any other future partners of his will feel about her joining in on family vacations? Again, I think she is a lovely girl, and I will enjoy remaining on friendly terms with her. Honestly, I do think this is a very weird situation on your husband's behalf. He's insisting to spend so much time with her and around her. This doesn't seem like a friend's situation. To me, it's coming off as too many red flags to discount, and I would look into this further if you can, OP. Wishing you all the best on this one. The closeness is weird to me too, especially staying up late drinking and her staying over. But even more to the point, keeping Kelsey this close doesn't help Kelsey either. She is hurting, yes, but spending more time with her ex's family isn't going to help her through the emotional tear of the breakup. It just keeps her mentally and emotionally invested in a family that isn't hers. You don't have to be mean to her, but you don't bring her on vacations either. Okay, there is room for compromise. No one needs to boot Kelsey out of the family that she's already been a part of for 10 years. However, your husband does need to make you and the kids a priority. So there is no reason for Kelsey not to be included in things, but when you tell your husband you need him to be available for things like your medical procedure, then he needs to be there. He's giving too much personal, emotional support, having her over constantly without asking his wife, prioritizing hanging with her over his family. Like, yes, she's going through a hard time, but has he considered that maybe Kelsey will eventually want or need distance from this family if Brad is going to be staying in contact? Making themselves her primary source of emotional support instead of her own friends or family is dangerous, and now she is trapped near Brad when she should be using this opportunity to find new things. What are they going to do when she dates and maybe marries someone else? Are they going to forever assert they have family? Are they willing to eventually have to pick between Kelsey and Brad? Kelsey deserves better than a family that is strongly split between her and someone who cheated on her. Family support is fine. Texts and being in her corner is fine, but she is not his little sister, and this incident seems to have increased husband's relationship with Kelsey. It should remain the same amount of support as it was. No more home visits, but coming along on family vacation and group meals sounds fine to me. 36 male here. The simple fact of the matter is that your husband is prioritizing her needs over yours at this stage, which is not acceptable and insensitive, as it's clear that you feel uncomfortable. Everything else is really background noise in my opinion. The main thing that doesn't sit right with me, and leads me on to a suspicion though, your husband seems capable of seeing how upset and in need of support Kelsey is, and unable to see that this puts his wife in an uncomfortable position, and is willing to just F that off as your issue. I'm sorry, but screw that. My suspicion is that he has developed some feelings for her, but rather than cauterizing contact, he's happy to continue it under the guise of support of a longtime family friend that is like a sister. Intervention is needed. And now onto the update. I'm going to make this short. I'm updating because of all the messages that I got asking me for one. Like I stated many times in my last post, though a number of people were still attacking me as though I wanted to banish her from speaking to any of us, I thought Kelsey was a lovely girl and I didn't want to completely cut her off, just establish appropriate boundaries. My mother-in-law found out my husband invited Kelsey. Normally this wouldn't be an issue since the house is large enough to accommodate several more people, and to be fair, this wouldn't be the first time someone invited someone on behalf of the family. But the issue was my mother-in-law had been speaking to Brad, my brother-in-law, and trying to convince him to come, and he eventually caved and said he would come. So my mother-in-law flat out said that Kelsey can't come. Why would she even want to? It would be too weird for her or Brad. So my husband came home and told me all of this, and then tells me conveniently that he's going to have to come to Belize a week later because of work. He would meet me and the kids there. I'm not going to get into details because it got really personal, but it wasn't hard to find out that that was a lie, and he was planning on hanging out with Kelsey for those days. This lie was the last straw, so I asked to see his phone. I looked through all his messages on socials, and I found a number of flirty texts with Kelsey, as well as some photos that weren't nudes or anything, but definitely suggestive. He said he hadn't realized how quickly things got out of hand, and that he never would have physically cheated. I don't believe that he hasn't already. I'm not really one for second chances, so I can't see this going much further, although I'm not making any permanently rash decisions until I've had time to clear my head and get everything in order. He said he hadn't realized how quickly things got out of hand, and that he never would have physically cheated. Eye roll. He may be deleting the hardcore messages. No guy will ditch his entire family and vacation for some random if he ain't getting something in return. So if they didn't do sexual stuff yet, it is likely that was the plan. But even if he didn't, that is completely out of line and was very obvious since yesterday. I'm sorry, OP. He and Kelsey are crap. An affair with her ex's brother would be the perfect revenge, right? Definitely. Messages were deleted, that's what I thought. Chances are they did get down to business, since the husband was so quick to take her in and be there for her. Lol. I love how he thought inviting his side piece on a family trip would just go swimmingly. Oh yeah, she can't come. I suddenly need to work that first week. No one will ever know. Your husband and his brother are from the same cloth. Part of me wonders if Kelsey isn't deliberately trying to get back at Brad by getting involved with his brother, but the husband seems to be all too willing. All of this seems to be happening really fast. She could also be doing it as a revenge for her ex cheating on her, so she wants to screw his brother. If I were you, I'd start divorce proceedings right now. He has known this girl since she was 14. Blow this crap up. They don't deserve to be protected. Good luck, OP. The fact that 1, this 37-year-old married man is even flirting with a 24-year-old is icky, and 2, the fact that 24-year-old is his little brother's very recent ex-girlfriend of 10 years is just beyond all icky comprehension. He's known her since she was 14 and he was 27. I'm sorry, that's just gross. And he tried to so obviously lie in order to skip out on a family vacation for a week and just to supposedly sit next to her. He's either dumb as rocks or really just doesn't care about his marriage or relationship with his brother or anything other than his own dick, really. Your husband sounds immature and downright creepy. I'm sorry that you're even having to go through this, as you sound very mature and kind-hearted, but you'd be better off without someone like this in your life. Our next post is titled, "Am I the asshole for dropping off 2 drunk, rude girls at the bus stop instead of driving them home? My boyfriend's best friend's girlfriend is always really rude to me. She wanted to hook up my boyfriend with one of her friends, so when I arrived into the picture, she decides she hates my guts for ruining her friend's chance for a great relationship. I was still trying to be nice if we had to hang out because of our boyfriends, but I preferred to avoid her, since she would always make a point to talk crap about my appearance, personality, fashion sense, work, etc. My boyfriend and his friend went to a festival together. I was supposed to pick them up after because they were drinking. I arrived at the parking lot at 3 a.m. to see my boyfriend, his friend's girlfriend, and her friend. Yes, the one she wanted to hook up with my boyfriend. I was surprised, but before I could ask about it, they get into the car. Few minutes pass until the girlfriend's friend asked if I'm the B word that stole her love, which spiraled into them going into a rant about everything that is wrong with me in their eyes, including how my boyfriend could do better. I told them that they are quite brave, considering the state they're in, which is completely wasted, since I am driving them home and I can decide to just drop them off if they continue. They dared me to do so, so I did. I pulled up to the nearest bus stop, told them to get out, and they thought that I was joking until they saw me turning off the engine. In the end, my boyfriend got annoyed, since he wasn't feeling well and wanted to go home. So he screamed at them to get out, or he will drag them out of my car himself. His best friend tried to protest, but my boyfriend, in his drunk state, told him that it's my car, so he's not one to decide, and if he has a problem, then he can wait for the bus with his girl and her friend, or take an Uber. My boyfriend, after waking up sober and remembering what happened, called me an asshole for kicking out 2 drunk girls out of my car in the middle of the night. I reminded him that his friend stayed with them, but it only angered him more for some reason. I was told that the girls were drunk, so I shouldn't have taken to heart what they were saying, and that by dropping them off at the bus stop, I've put them in unnecessary danger. He has been going on about it for the past few hours, to the point where I don't know if I really did a bad thing and should apologize. OP has offered the following explanation for why they think they might be the asshole. I think I might be an asshole because the girls, even though very rude, were drunk and it was past 3 a.m. when I dropped them off at the bus stop. I understand that they were drunk in this situation, but they genuinely did ask for it, so you just gave them what they wanted to, and also considering all the background we've been given on these people, I do think they deserved to be kicked out of the car. You did them a massive favor by going to pick them up and take them home, and they continue to spit in your face. It's not like you abandoned just one by themselves either, there were 3 of them, and they can look after themselves. I don't know why your boyfriend is turning this completely on you. He was part of the reason they got kicked out as well. He's the one that told them to leave. Anyway, I'm gonna go with you're not the asshole in this one. I think everyone else is. Not the asshole. Is your boyfriend insane? You were being verbally abused, and not for the first time, by this girl while he sat and did nothing. You didn't drop them off in the middle of nowhere. They were at a bus stop with your boyfriend's best friend. I'd be more concerned with the fact that he doesn't see an issue with the way you've been treated. You did the right, nice thing. You should have kicked your boyfriend out at the same time. How about the other issue, that he basically went on a double date with these people who have no respect for his partner and didn't tell her the girls would be there? That's what I was thinking. I mean, damn, he was on what amounted to a double date. The fact the girl first said, "Are you that beer that stole my love?" and then the boyfriend yelled at them to get out, makes me think that the girl brought her friend and he probably didn't know. I think the friend of the girlfriend would have been more self-satisfied and less angry if he had responded to her. However, that doesn't give him a free pass to yell at her the next day, although leaving 3 drunks alone at night isn't the best idea. But neither is insulting your ride. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. You picked your boyfriend up from his double date. You had never agreed to give those girls a ride, and everyone in the car was an asshole to you. Dump the guy and let the other girl have him. Thank you. I'm sitting here reading this and thinking, what the actual F? Dump his ass, OP. You were not the asshole. Might have been an ambush. They go out to the festival, start drinking, and the girlfriend and her friend show up. The fact that they were freaking bitter in the car about OP stealing him indicates to me that their plan didn't work. He's still the asshole for berating OP the next morning. And now on to the update. Well, I have an update, but first I want to answer some of the questions that were asked a lot. At first, I wanted to respond to each and every comment, but before I realized my OG post blew up, so I decided to address everything here. Did you know your boyfriend went on a double date? No. It was supposed to be him and his best friend, which I have my doubts about, because the festival was ticketed and the tickets were sold out in a matter of days. I'm sure at least her boyfriend knew she was going. Was the bus stop in the middle of nowhere? No, it was in a city centre, near the festival site, and there were many other festival goers waiting. Were the buses still running? Yes, our city has been hosting this festival for years now, and they are always taking care of festival goers. There are additional night buses, trams, and even train lines. What if someone shot my boyfriend's best friend? I'm really sorry for what's happening in the USA, but we're living in Poland, in Europe. Now to the update. I know why my boyfriend was so adamant about me apologizing. Apparently, his best friend's girlfriend and her friend decided that I need to be taught a lesson. I'm not really sure what they were planning to do, but they decided to scare me somehow, as a form of revenge. My boyfriend decided that it would be a great idea for me to apologize so that they would calm down, instead of, telling me. When asked why he would withhold this information from me, he said that he didn't want drama. As if there's not enough drama already with this psycho. He told me all of this because his best friend broke up with her in the end over her craziness. So my boyfriend deemed it appropriate to tell me that I no longer have to apologize. I contacted his best friend, asking if he would be willing to tell me what he knows about his ex and her plans to authorities, if she would ever come through with her plan to teach me a lesson, and he agreed. My boyfriend, on the other hand, was furious that I contacted his best friend because he doesn't want drama. I was feeling petty, so I told him that maybe I should just go out with his best friend since he seems more level-headed and caring. And that's when I learned that his best friend's ex thought her boyfriend, my boyfriend's best friend, was attracted to me, so her outbursts of anger were justified by her insecurities. When asked why he's so keen on victimizing her, he wasn't able to answer and shut down completely. Needless to say, we are taking a break. It's hard to break up completely because we're living together, and we are both on the lease. I'm pretty sure it's not the kind of update a lot of people commenting under my previous post were hoping for, but I'm really not sure what to do. I'm sorry, OP. He probably was just covering his own tracks of being into her. And OP replies, yeah, I think so too. Why bring up her ex-relationship insecurities now to justify her actions towards me? It's weird. Just like his overall reaction to me contacting his best friend. Seemed like projection. It's sus that your boy is more defensive for her sake than yours, and his own rather than your safety. I'm sorry that you're stuck in a lease with him. I was stuck in a lease with my ex for a whole year, and it was not a fun time. Wow, the boyfriend really sucks. I get wanting to de-escalate a situation, but him withholding that the psycho wanted to get even? That's when he stopped being a partner and became just a guy she was living with. You don't withhold crap like that from your partner who you want to protect. What's the bet he got with her, and they were threatening to tell OP? Winner winner, chicken dinner. The girls deserve to be dropped off at that bus stop. I think the boyfriend did as well. Imagine getting your girlfriend to pick you up from a double date. I mean, come on. He went with his friend. He had to know that he was bringing his girlfriend and this chick. It all just sounds so high school, so petty and bitchy. Is it coincidence that the person who says they hate drama always ends up being the one stirring it up? It's also the person that absolutely wants you to eat crap so that they are not inconvenienced in any way, that their social circle isn't rocked, that they never have to mature into grown-up emotions like empathy, compassion, mutual respect, and reciprocity. And that's where I'm going to end today's episode, guys. I do hope you enjoyed. If you did, let me know what you thought of it down below, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.